Hi Libra, this is Heather, the medium on a mission, and I'm bringing you your 2020 forecast. And what I'll do is I'll just sort of kind of go over the energies that I received during my channeling, and before I lay out the cards, and then I will circle back and see how the cards resonate with the information that I was getting. And so for you Libra, I feel like, I kind of look at the beginning or any points in time along the way that are significant for you. And so I feel like a couple things. I do have an older gentleman that's coming forward, and there's this feeling of expectation around that. So this could be, it could be a father type figure. It could be it just feels like a male that would be an authority, or have some sort of authority in your life at some point. And it could even be a boss or even a relationship if that's kind of the authority that you put. But it feels a heavy sense of authority and responsibility towards you, and so, or you towards them. And I just feel like this year the biggest thing I'm getting is like the death of one's old self and ways and things that occurred in the past. And I feel like it's going to be a really good year for you, but it feels around the masculine influence, and there's something about sort of walking away from these energies that no longer serve you. But the other thing I'm getting with it too is that I just feel like there's something where it's a rebirth. It's that death, that rebirth, but I get a lot of relationship feelings here as well, but it feels like it comes back to this year you're going to establish the greatest relationship of all, like big time love, and it's with yourself. And so I know some of you might be like, well, I want, romantic or whatever, but it feels like this year is all about sort of defining who you are, what you want, so you can bring that energy into your life. I'm not saying that you won't find love, but I mean, the minute you shift into that energy and get into that space, it brings that into your life. And I just feel like for some of you, and even if you're in a committed relationship, it's going to be significant for redefining the boundaries and the expectation of how you interact with each other. And it's going to deepen the love between you two. So I feel like that's kind of the key theme that I'm getting for you, Libra, for this year. And I'm just kind of doing an energy scan in terms of the months out of the year and seeing if there's anything significant to any of these months that pop up. I do get a feeling around May for you. It feels like that's important. It actually, like April, May, you might be experiencing some of that. Time is not linear, so the energy is a flow, but sometimes they'll kind of pop in months where it feels like there's going to be something occurring. And so I'm getting that for you. I get September as well, but I'm aware that your birthdays would be around that time as well. So for some of you, that might be close to your birthday month. Yeah, so let me just see here. Anything else? Yeah, that's interesting. So yes, I keep going back to September. So some of you, I know that you guys, some of you will celebrate your birthday in the month of September, but it feels like it's kind of like when you're approaching your next birthday, there's going to be some evolution and a growing on a deeper level for you. And so that's what I feel like. I do feel, I'm getting a little bit of energy from July as well in terms of the paradigm shift that's occurring, and it feels like that's where there's going to be some changes in relationships for you. But overall, you've got sprinkles of change throughout the year, but I feel like it's already I'm being shown the wheel of fortune, sorry. And it's turning in your favor, but it's been turning. I feel like it's already been turning, and you've been seeing some signs of that. You probably saw it for the last 3 months, but it feels like it's this year is where it's really turning. And it's crazy because I'm hearing like those things that you thought you wanted in life. When you seek out something and I always thought I wanted this, and then I realized it's not really what I wanted. And so, but it feels like it's a positive, like where we set our eyes on something that, and then it's not as important to us in the end. So, and we actually shift, as we grow older, we change our beliefs, our desires, our wants. And I just feel like it's like, and I'm getting chills right now, as a kid, when you you sort of came into this life with an expectation, and now it's shifting for you, and it's like, what is this happening? I'm not thinking and acting the same way I did before. Is this, and it's this evolution for you. I'm also seeing a girl, it's like it's a child sitting on a, it's like she's sitting on a curb, and she's sort of, it's kind of a weird, she's like taking something like a ball or something in between, you know, she's kind of sitting there on the curb, and it's in between, you know, underneath her legs and above, and she's just kind of this circling with this ball. But it's this feeling of, the energy I get with her, it's this feeling of kind of feeling a little bit alone. Like there's something that goes back to your childhood, and it feels like it's being, this little girl is feeling like she's alone, but it's, in some way, she's okay with it. And so it's this feeling of, it's like in some ways I'm my own best friend or I'm my own worst enemy. And it's like, which relationship would I prefer to have with myself? And it's this feeling of going back to this childlike state and reconnecting with oneself and the experiences that occurred as a child, and how it relates to how you are as an adult today and what shifts that need to occur. So with that being said, I'll go ahead and pull the cards. I'm going to pull the first 6 months of the year, and then we'll just go through the energies, and then we'll do the second half of the year as well. So let me just, Spirit, what messages do you have for Libra for the first 6 months, January to June? Okay. Wow, what a way to start off. Oh yeah, okay. That's amazing. I love it. Major Arcana, the Magician. You are the master of your life. That is correct. Oh, wow. The Sun. Oh my gosh. You guys, I've shuffled these really well, and there's a lot of similar energies that are popping up. Nobody's gotten the Magician yet, but the Sun. It feels like this, I'm just going to say it because there's something to, I'm not an astrologer, but I can tell you, I'm feeling like this year for people is going to be a major shift of energy into a positive, and outdated belief systems are dropping away. And it's this realization of like, let's just align to what is our highest and greatest good and what is good for us, and kind of leave the rest behind. So, and this card just popped out. And what wow, right there. What did I just say? It's I love it when the cards really coincide with the energies that are coming through, and Spirit validates that in a way that unbelievable. All right. Oh wow, that one blew. I'm taking that too. All right. All right, perfect. So I'll just sort of tune into the energies here that we've got. So obviously you're starting the year off as a Magician. And like I said, I do feel like for the last couple of months, you've already been going through this energy. This is something that's been coming in. So you're starting to feel this energy of kind of releasing what no longer serves you, coming into this new state of awareness and identity, and it's really for the highest and greatest good for you on so many levels. And then February, you've got the Sun. You've got this energy of there's something about this sort of coming together. I do get the feeling of sort of the connection of energies, individuals. There's the love energy. And again, this love doesn't have to be romantic with someone else. It can be love for oneself. And so I feel like that's really strong for you as well. And then when we come into March here, you've got the Five of Swords. And this is basically, this is your card, right? This is, you guys are the Swords energy. And it's this feeling of, I'm just sort of tuning in a little bit to see what, this card is typically a card of kind of, walking away, conflict, the feeling of there being kind of, I would say internal tension. But I feel like for you, this is the kickoff. This is where you start in March. And that's what I was getting some things around April, May, because I feel like in March is where you're sort of like, yeah, no, wait, I've got this power. I've got this, it's all within me, and I need to walk away from what no longer serves me. And this is really what I'm seeing big time with that card in March. So I feel like in March is where you're going to kind of start to walk away from those energies. And then obviously you've got the Queen of Pentacles coming in for April. And that's where I felt like a lot of power for you is where that starts to kick off. And so there might be something to do with an earth sign connected to this as well, but I feel like this is you. I just feel like this is your energy. And this is you being sort of in this space where you are owning your own power. And I just get this decisive energy from her, and the feeling of I'm stepping in my power in a way that I've never done before. And I'm seeing my own value for the first time. And this is that feeling of there's just something that you're going back through and reflecting in the past that you're walking away from because it no longer serves you. And then obviously when you come to May here, you've got the Ten of Pentacles, and that's quite beautiful, right? So again, we've got the earth energy that's coming in. You've got it, starting here, and then you've also got it coming in there as well. And really what that, this is that the abundance and wealth does not have to come in the form of finances. But generally speaking, when you sort of feel that energy of wealth, and there's an abundance in your life that's occurring as a result of that. And it could come in the form of relationships. And then you've got another Two of Pentacles. You've got another Pentacles energy. And this is really just sort of holding on to this energy. I feel like a lot of people, when they step in their power, this energy comes in for you guys. And then you're owning it. You see all the abundance. Then you want to hold on to that, right? You're holding on to that power, that energy that you've got. And it's a lot of times when we work hard for something in our lives and we get to this point where we've conquered these things, you've got the Magician, the Sun, you've achieved, you start holding on to it, letting go of these other things that no longer serve. We get a little protective because you fought for it, right? You fought for that energy, you fought for the space that you're in now, and you want nothing to threaten that. And so I feel like there might be some influences coming into your life around this time frame, where you might feel like there might be a little bit of a threat to that energy, and you're preserving it. So it feels like outside influences. It doesn't feel like it's something from within. This again might be this earth sign, something to do with that as well, that might be coming in and kind of influencing. But I feel like you're holding strong, you're steady. You're not letting that kind of influence or rock your world at this time. So let's keep going and see what else we've got here. So that was you've got, again, January, February, March, April, May, June. And now we'll pull July through December. What messages do you have for Libra for July through December? What messages do they need to know at this time for their highest and greatest good? And the other thing I do feel like, again, this feeling of this sort of death and this new beginning for you guys, it feels really positive overall, but sometimes that death process can be difficult for you. So Moon, yep, that's part of that as well. The hidden influences. Okay. Wow. All right. Perfect. Okay. So, and I'm very shocked that the death card hasn't come up, but you know what? You've got enough. I feel like I've said it enough. It really feels like this major, transformation for you that's occurring here. But I feel like the death might have been in the past energies for you, and you're moving forward from this sort of rebirth and energy, because it just feels like that transformation for some of you, if it's already occurred. And so here we've got the Four of Cups here, and you can see that there. And then here you've got the Two of Cups. Then we move into the moon energies. So this is July, August, September, October, November, December. And so for when we look at these 2 months here, so July, August, what I just, as I kind of tune into the energies with this feels like, I do feel like there's going to be some gatherings, some celebrations here. But it's like you're doing it in a way that it's like you're bringing others into the mix. You've had this sort of protective energy a little bit, but now you're expanding your circle a little bit more, and you're bringing these energies back in. You've got, you know, these are the emotion cards, right? You're kind of processing the emotions of the first 6 months of the year, because you've had a lot of amazing energies, a lot of empowerment. The mind is the hardest thing, the kind of the hardest next thing to work on, right? And so when, you know, we can kind of, if you can crack the code of the emotional aspect of things, is where you really kind of take it to the next level. And so for you guys, I just feel like you're kind of reflecting. There's a little bit of reflective energy from the past of the things that occurred. And when I say that energy of that younger child keeps coming in, the feeling of like the reflection of the past. And it's not in a bad way. It's a little, there's the nostalgic, right? It's a nostalgic energy to that. So yeah, I feel like it's yeah, it's contemplative. There's just energy around that and kind of going back in the past. And then you come here, you've got the Two of Cups. This is love. This is emotions overflowing. There's attraction, partnership, all of these kind of positive influences that are coming in for you. And I feel like this is now, some of you, this is going to be romantic love that comes in. It's going to be a deepening of the bond between the two that exist already. So a lot of you, you know, not everyone, this is a general reading, not everyone's going to have the same situation, but the energies feel very consistent throughout. So I've given examples of what I'm getting, and it feels a little, the energy all feels the same, but the scenarios are different because each one of you is very different and living a different life. But just know that this sort of romance and energy, it feels like it's a deepening. So this is either with oneself or another individual, but it feels like that's where you're really going to see that occur in this month here. Okay, so September, October, November, December. So for September here, this is where the influence of the moon, hidden things coming into light, things being brought to the surface. I feel like when this sort of truce occurs, or this energy of love, you bring things out through that process, but it's not a bad thing. And I feel like this is really where you're going inward a little bit more and doing some of the work, the emotional stuff, right? So then you come into this space, and you know, sometimes when we get in our head or we get into that emotional space, we feel a sense of loss, but you've still got the Two Cups here, right? September, October, you're going into this energy where you feel like you've sort of lost some things in life, and you have a little bit of you know, sadness around that. But it's, you know, the next you've got here, then all is not lost. There's this, it's really, this is of the mind. It's the emotions. It's not in the physical. That's not what you're seeing here. The Pentacles are the ones where it's like more physical. You're seeing it in the physical 3D. This is more emotional based. And so it's kind of the head space. But then here you've got the Star card, right? And so this is where it's like the renewal of energy right after this feeling of loss. You've got the renewal card. And so look at how you end your year. You've got November, December. You've come into the space of renewal, optimism. You're enjoying the fruits of your labor, everything that you've created throughout the year, this sort of rebirth of energy. Right there, those two cards are you can see exactly how those kind of interact with each other. And then you end the year with strength. So you've got a lot of strength energy coming in. You end the year on a very positive note. You've got, you know, in the span of a year, anyone's going to have some highs and lows. But I think the majority and the net of what is coming out of here is that this is a year of doing a lot of work. And there's a lot of changing the dynamics of relationships, building deeper ones with yourself and with the ones that you do love, that you have in your life, that still remain even after you've sort of, you know, let go of some people in your life that may not resonate with you anymore. But look at this. You start the year with the Magician and you end with Strength. I mean, come on. There's kind of no two better cards, in my opinion, that you can kind of, you know, have in your back pocket throughout your year. So you maintain the strength of the Magician and the power of the Magician throughout the year, but you're doing it in a way that's more calculated and you're more aware of your emotions and the circumstances. And I just feel like this year you have a lot more control over your life than you may have in the past. And so it just feels like, you know, it's the clarity, you know, it's 2020 vision, you know, it's the year 2020, and it just feels like it's going to be really good for you, Libra. So I do hope this was helpful. I hope you have an amazing 2020, and namaste.